TC SHAR 1 and 2.
Go ahead.
We observe both telemetry carriers are on.
Copied.
All stations, stand by for the time mark. T-minus 30 minutes and counting.
Namaste. Namaste. Aditya L1 punch.
Roger.
ROD and mission. Sir, prevail. Punch. ROD, Roger.
Calling P1, switch on the pulsars.
नमस्कार, एक बार फिर स्वागत है आप सभी दर्शकों का। मैं विकास स्वर्णकार
Roger.
यहाँ श्रीहरिकोटा के मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष से इस मिशन की समीक्षा प्रस्तुत करूंगा और मेरे साथ हैं इंग्लिश कमेंटेटर मिस माधुरी पी। सबसे पहले आप सभी दर्शकों को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और बधाइयां चंद्रयान 3 मिशन की, जिसने पूर्ण सफलता के साथ 23 अगस्त 2023 को चंद्रमा की सतह पर लैंडर की सकुशल लैंडिंग की और इसके बाद रोवर ने पृथ्वी से 3,80,000 किलोमीटर दूर चंद्रमा पर विचरण कर भारत की अमिट छाप छोड़ दी है। इसके साथ ही भारत चंद्रमा के दक्षिणी ध्रुव पर सकुशल उतरने वाला विश्व का पहला देश बन
P2,
चुका
switch
है।
on the pulsars.
यह सब संभव हो पाया है इसरो के कुशल मार्गदर्शन और वैज्ञानिकों के अथक प्रयास से, लेकिन ये तो सिर्फ शुरुआत है। चंद्रमा अब इसरो तेजोमय सूर्य के अध्ययन के प्रयोजन से आदित्य L1 नामक अंतरिक्ष यान को आज
P3
2
switch on the
सितंबर
pulsars.
2023 को श्रीहरिकोटा के द्वितीय प्रमोचन मंच से भारतीय मानक समय के अनुसार सुबह 11:50 पर PSLV-C57 रॉकेट द्वारा प्रमोचित करेगा। आइए चलें सूर्य की ओर और विज्ञान के कुछ और रहस्यों से पर्दा उठाने और वैज्ञानिक तकनीक का प्रदर्शन करने। तो बने रहिए हमारे साथ आज के इस मिशन में, जिसका नाम है PSLV-C57 आदित्य L1 मिशन।
Namaste viewers. The Indian Space Research
switch on the
Organization is
pulsars.
gearing for its rendezvous with the Sun.
R2 pulsar on.
To take you along on the live telecast of this momentous event today, I am Madhuri, giving the commentary in English.
P4 MOTR, you can switch
With
on
me
the
is
radiation.
my co-commentator, Shri Vikas Swarnakar, who will be giving the commentary in Hindi.
Copied.
We are about to script yet another chapter in the glorious space research history of India. Today, the workhorse rocket PSLV-C57 will carry Aditya L1, the solar observatory of India, to be placed at a vantage point from where it will be able to continuously observe the sun and while being in the visibility of Earth-based ground stations. 10 days ago, India became the first country in the world to safely land a spacecraft in the
All
South
stations,
Polar regions
Stand by
on the
for the
moon.
time mark.
I'm
T-minus
sure many
27
of you
minutes
were
and
the
counting.
eager and proud spectators of the Chandrayaan 3 landing that was being telecast from ISTRAC, situated in Bangalore.
Roger.
We bring to you an integration film for the PSLV C57 that took place in Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR, Sriharikota.
స్కిల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ స్కామ్లో 300 కోట్లు, ఇసుక మీద 100 కోట్లు, పోలవరం ప్రాజెక్టు మీద 1000 కోట్లు, అమరావతి కాంట్రాక్టర్ అయిన షాపుర్జీ పలోంజీ
अभी आप अपने स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं, यह है प्रथम कोर चरण S139 बूस्टर का नोजल लेंस सेगमेंट। इस प्रथम चरण के साथ ये शुरुआत होती है और यह मिडिल सेगमेंट को इसके ऊपर संयोजित किया जा रहा है। ऐसे 3 मिडिल सेगमेंट
Roger.
इसके ऊपर संयोजित किए जाएंगे और अंत में हेड एंड सेगमेंट सबसे ऊपर की ओर संयोजित किया जाएगा और इस तरह तैयार होता है PSLV का प्रथम चरण कोर बूस्टर S139। इसमें 139 टन का प्रणोदक होता है और यह इग्नाइटर है जो इसे प्रज्वलित करता है। इस मिशन पे यह है PSLV-C57 एक्सेल मिशन। तो इसमें है 6 स्ट्रेपॉन बूस्टर्स, हर एक में 12 टन के नोदक भरे जाते हैं। यह सब ठोस नोदक पर आधारित हैं। यह SITVC टैंक को उठाकर इसके साथ संयोजित किया जा रहा है। इंटरस्टेज आप देख रहे हैं, इसमें रिट्रो मोटर्स लगे हुए हैं पृथक्कन के लिए। और यह है द्वितीय चरण जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है। इसमें विकास इंजन लगा हुआ है।
All stations
And here is the
standby for
second
the time
stage
mark.
of the PSLV rocket,
T minus
prepared in
25
the
minutes and
subsystem
counting.
preparation facility and brought to the vehicle assembly building of the second launch pad to be integrated on the first stage of the rocket. Here you can see this third stage PS3 and PS4 being moduled
Roger.
and placed inside the respective load and then handled together
Roger.
to be moved to the vehicle assembly building.
ये नज़ारा आप देख रहे हैं व्हीकल असेंबली बिल्डिंग का, जहां पर पूरे व्हीकल को असेंबल किया जाता है।
These are the visuals from the clean room of the spacecraft preparation facility. This is the Aditya L1 spacecraft being prepared and ensconced into a protective container where the environment is controlled and the temperature is controlled, the cleanliness is controlled. At the vehicle assembly building, again, there is a clean room provision to safely integrate it to the rocket, and then the heat shield halves are closed. Now the vehicle is fully ready to be moved to the launch pad, which is about 900 meters away. This is PSLV-C57, standing majestically.
अभी अभी आपने देखा PSLV-C57 का इंटीग्रेशन वीडियो। यह पूरी तरह तैयार और कुछ अंतिम गतिविधियां जारी हैं, अंतिम जांच जारी हैं प्रमोशन से पहले की।
We are bringing this telecast to you live from the Mission Control Center at Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR, Sriharikota. The launch will take
T minus
place today,
23 minutes and counting.
the 2nd of September 2023 at 11:50 hours in time from
Control
the
to
second
all
launch
stations.
pad.
All stations switch over to channel 2 at T
The
minus 20 minutes.
PSLV-C57 in
No
its XL
confirmation
version
needed
will
to
carry
confirm.
Aditya L1 spacecraft having a mass of 1,480 kilograms. The mission intends to place the spacecraft in 235 by 19,500 kilometers orbit with an inclination of 19.2 degrees. The total mission duration will be 3,799 seconds or 63 minutes 19 seconds. Apart from Doordarshan, you can watch the live telecast on ISRO website,
Roger.
YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
अब हम प्रमोशन से 22 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। आदित्य L1 सूर्य का अध्ययन करने वाला पहला अंतरिक्ष आधारित भारतीय मिशन है। इस मिशन से आदित्य L1 नामक अंतरिक्ष यान को सूर्य पृथ्वी प्रणाली में लैग्रेंज 1 पॉइंट के चारों ओर एक प्रभामंडल कक्षा में स्थापित किया जाएगा। यह लैग्रेंज पॉइंट पृथ्वी से लगभग 15 लाख किलोमीटर दूर है। इस तरह L1 पर रखे गए उपग्रह को सूर्य को बिना किसी आच्छादन या ग्रहण के
Control to all
लगातार
stations.
देखा जा
Switch
सकता
over
है।
to channel 2 at T minus 20 minutes. No confirmation is
यह अंतरिक्षयान विद्युत चुंबकीय और कण चुंबकीय क्षेत्र सूचकांकों का उपयोग करके फोटोस्फीयर, क्रोमोस्फीयर और सूर्य के सबसे बाहरी परत, जिसे हम कोरोना के नाम से जानते हैं, इनका निरीक्षण करने के लिए इसमें 7 निदभार लगे हुए हैं। इनमें से 4 निदभार सीधे सूर्य की गतिकी का अध्ययन करेंगे तथा अन्य 3 निदभार L1 बिंदु पर कणों और क्षेत्रों का यथास्थिति अध्ययन करेंगे। इस तरह आदित्य L1 उपग्रह के निदभार कोरोनल तापन, कोरोनल मास इजेक्शन, प्री फ्लेयर और फ्लेयर गतिविधियों और उनकी विशेषताओं और अंतरिक्ष मौसम की गतिशीलता को समझने के लिए अत्यधिक महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी प्रदान करेंगे। अब आपके सामने प्रस्तुत है आदित्य L1 कर्टन रेजर।
Feel it now with PS5. It's time to feel more. Feel faster.
PSLV-C57 is prepared to launch the 1,480 kg Aditya L1 spacecraft into Earth-bound orbit, from which it will be placed into a halo orbit around the L1 point in 4 months. The satellite is intended to study the Sun and how it impacts the heliosphere. The Sun, which is the center of our solar system and has always fascinated humans, is a ball of hot gases formed by the nuclear fusion process. The visible outer surface of the Sun is known as the photosphere, followed by the chromosphere and then the corona. After initially dropping through the chromosphere, the Sun's temperature abruptly rises in the corona, reaching extremely high values of 1 to 3 million Kelvin. The Aditya L1 mission has 7 scientific payloads to conduct a comprehensive study of the Sun. The Visible Emission Line Coronagraph, VELC, investigates the solar corona and the dynamics of coronal mass ejections. The Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope, TOOT payload, scans the solar disk in near ultraviolet light and detects fluctuations in solar irradiance. The Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment, ASPECS, and Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya PAPA payloads investigate the solar wind and energetic ions, as well as their energy distributions. The Solar Low Energy X-ray Spectrometer, SOLEXIS, and the High Energy L1 Orbiting X-ray Spectrometer, HELIOS, analyze X-ray flares from the Sun over a wide energy range. The magnetometer payload is designed to measure the interplanetary magnetic field at the L1 point. Aditya L1 is equipped to take in situ measurements of charged particles and fields at L1 and is dedicated to studying the Sun across several energy bands. The Lagrange point L1 is located around 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth between the Sun and the Earth. These observations are best made from a vantage point that provides a continuous view of the Sun. All payloads are designed in close coordination with ISRO centers and national laboratories like as IIA, IUCAA, and PRL. With this mission, ISRO will once again demonstrate its position in space exploration.
We are 17 minutes 23 seconds from the launch time. The countdown for PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission has been 24 hours long. It had started yesterday. During the countdown, critical activities have been carried out on the launch vehicle and the spacecraft. The propellant have been serviced into the launch vehicle stages. Bottles storing the gases for command and control operations have been charged to pre-launch pressure levels. The onboard batteries have been charged.
Confirmed external hold mode.
Now in a little while we'll go to the automatic launch sequence initiation, for which the preparations are underway in the launch and mission control centers.
ROD to Mission Director. Range is ready for PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission. Director Roger.
All is done. Confirms ready. Track
अभी आपने सुना
Aditya L1 mission.
Mission Director Roger.
गृह निदेशक,
TC
निदेशक,
data lovers of planet
टेलीमेट्री,
SHAR 1
टेलीकॉमांड
SHAR 2
निदेशक
station.
तथा यान निदेशक
TC
ने
corporate.
अपने तंत्रों की सूचना मिशन निदेशक को दे दी है। के पश्चात
T-16 minutes and
सभी
counting.
आंकड़े संतोषजनक होने पर
Mission Director. Readiness Review and Launch Authorization Board have already given clearance for proceeding with the countdown and launch of PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission. All operations in the countdown sequence till automatic launch sequence have been completed satisfactorily. Based on the clearance obtained from launch vehicle, spacecraft, range, and distract network stations and prevailing favorable weather conditions, Mission Director hereby authorizes initiate launch operation sequence for the launch of PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission at 11:50 hours IST today, that is 2nd September 2023.
All stations to note, mission director has given authorization for the launch of PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission.
SDS servers activated. MC
अभी
confirms
आपने
data
देखा
from SHAR 1
इस
and
मिशन
SHAR 2.
के मिशन डायरेक्टर श्री
T minus
SR
15
बीजू
minutes
ने
and counting.
इस मिशन का
Communicate in English easily. Use Grammarly and feel confident with effective.
Hereby authorizes automatic launch sequence for the launch of PSLV-7 Aditya L1 mission.
Automatic launch sequence initiated for PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 mission.
The automatic launch sequence, the initiation has been announced. And hereafter, a very critical capsule of performance validation for the launch vehicle systems will be carried out. And very close to the launch time, control will be passed on to the onboard computers.
यहाँ ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस चालू हो चुका है। ALS शुरू होने के पश्चात रॉकेट स्वचालित होकर सर्वप्रथम T-0.3 सेकेंड्स पर RCT का प्रज्वलन शुरू करेगा और T0 पर कोर बूस्टर S139 का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा। लेकिन इस दौरान वह स्वचालित तरीके से सभी जांच जारी रखे हुए है।
PS2 control system, redundant chain actuation in progress.
On your TV screens, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology and Prime Minister's Office, Dr. Jitendra Singh. This mission is the 91st launch mission of ISRO and 59th of Workhorse PSLV. As mentioned earlier, PSLV's XL version with 6 strap-on motors alongside the core S139 motor is being used for the present mission. This is the 25th time PSLV XL is getting ready for launch. So far in the year 2023, ISRO has launched SSLV's maiden successful mission, 2 commercial missions of PSLV, 1 mission of GSLV carrying the first among the second generation of navigation satellites, 1 commercial mission of LVM-3 and another mission of LVM-3 again carrying the prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
PS4 control system activation in progress.
आदित्य L1 जो कि एक अंतरिक्षयान है इस मिशन का, इसको पृथ्वी से 235 बाई 19,500 किलोमीटर की निम्न भूकक्षा में 19.2 डिग्री के झुकाव के साथ अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा। इस कक्षा में निर्धारित आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑफ पेरिजी 346.6 डिग्री को प्राप्त करने के लिए PSLV के चतुर्थ चरण को 2 बार प्रज्वलित कर इसे प्राप्त किया जाएगा। आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑफ पेरिजी असेंडिंग मोड और पेरिजी के बीच के कोण है जिसे कक्षीय तल के साथ मापा जाता है। आदित्य L1 के इस दीर्घाकार कक्षा में अंतक्षेपण के पश्चात उचित समय पर और उचित अभिवृत्ति में अंतरिक्षयान में लगे लिक्विड एपोजी मोटर्स को फायर कर कक्षांतरण किया जाएगा और इस तरह 5वीं बार में LAM मोटर को फायर कर यान को पृथ्वी की प्रभावी क्षेत्र से बाहर निकलने में समुचित गति प्राप्त की जाएगी। फिर वह पृथ्वी की कक्षा से छोड़कर सूर्य की कक्षा में प्रवेश करेगा और ऐसा करते हुए यह करीब 125 दिनों का समय लगेगा। 125 दिनों बाद यह L1 पॉइंट के पास पहुंचकर और उसकी परिक्रमा करना शुरू कर देगा और यही वह L1 पॉइंट है जहां पर से यह अपने वैज्ञानिक उद्देश्यों का भी प्रतिपादन करेगा। अब हम उड़ान से 11 मिनट की दूरी पर
control system activation in progress.
Let me in the meantime tell the viewers about the flight events that the launch of PSLV-C57 Aditya L1 will take. This mission is among the longest flights of PSLV. It is going to last for 63 minutes and 19 seconds. The liftoff coincides with the ignition of core S139 solid rocket motor and the ignition of the 4 ground-lit strap-ons. While the rocket is at 2.7 kilometers altitude, the 2 air-lit strap-ons also commence their operation. The action time of strap-on motors is 70 seconds, and the ground-lit and air-lit strap-ons are separated from the ongoing launch vehicle at 70 and 92 seconds into the flight, respectively. The core S139 motor continues to thrust till 110 seconds. Since the second stage of PSLV operates on pressure-fed liquid engine, the optimal performance of the engine is ensured if the effect thrust cutoff or separation of the lower stage is countered by additional means of thrust generation. Therefore, the alleged motors provided for this purpose ignite 3 seconds before the first stage separation and continue to thrust for 11 seconds. The second stage, PS2, commences its operation 200 milliseconds after the separation of first stage. By this time, the rocket would have attained 55 kilometers altitude. The closed-loop guidance is initiated, which compares the present state of rocket to the intended injection point to compute an optimal trajectory. This happens while the rocket is at 59.7 kilometers altitude. At 204 seconds into the flight, the payload fairing is separated as the launch vehicle attains 113 kilometers altitude and the dense atmosphere is no longer present around. These events are taking place in the operational regime of the second stage, which lasts for 153 seconds. PS2 was separated 262.4 seconds into the flight at an altitude of 130 kilometers, while the relative velocity is 4.9 kilometers per second. The third stage, PS3, ignites about a second later and burns for 118 seconds, during which time it adds 12 kilometers to the altitude and enhances relative velocity tremendously from 4.9 kilometers per second to 7.3 kilometers per second. There is a coast phase of 200 seconds that follow PS3 burnout, during which there is no thrust being developed, but the rocket continues to be steered. At 581 seconds into the flight, the PS3 separates, and the last in the fourth stage of the rocket, together with the Aditya L1 spacecraft, coasts for a long time thereafter.
ఆయన నవ్వు ప్రజలకు ఓ నమ్మకం, ఆయన మాట ప్రజలకు ఓ భరోసా, ఆయన వ్యక్తిత్వం ఓ బలం, రాజసం ఉట్టిపడే నడక ఆయన సొంతం, ప్రేమగా పలకరించే తత్వం ఆయన సొంతం, అనుక్షణం ప్రజల కోసం పరితపించిన వ్యక్తి. ముఖ్యమంత్రుల్లో ఆయనది చెరగని సంతకం, ఆయనే ఎడగూరి సందింటి రాజశేఖర్ రెడ్డి, ఆయనే మన వైఎస్ఆర్. తెలుగువారికి పరిచయం అక్కర్లేని పేరు, అభిమానులు ముద్దుగా పిలుచుకునే పేరు రాజన్న. ఆయన చేసిన ఆలోచనలు ప్రజా ప్రభుత్వానికి సరైన నిర్వచనం ఇచ్చాయి. అటు ప్రజా జీవితంలోనూ ఇటు రాజకీయాల్లోనూ ఆయన్ను ఓ విజేతగా నిలిపాయి. ఉమ్మడి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఆయన చేపట్టిన పథకాలు నా భూతో నా భవిష్యత్. ₹1 డాక్టర్గా జీవితం ప్రారంభించి ప్రజా జీవితంలో అంచెలంచెలుగా ఆయన ఎదిగిన తీరు ఎంతో ప్రత్యేకం. 1949లో కడప జిల్లాలో జయమ్మ రాజారెడ్డి దంపతులకు జన్మించిన రాజశేఖర్ రెడ్డి తన తండ్రి రాజారెడ్డి పేరు మీద 1973లో ఆస్పత్రి ప్రారంభించి ₹1కే పేదలకు వైద్యాన్ని అందించారు. పులివెందుల నుంచి ఎమ్మెల్యేగా ఎన్నికైన ఆయన
Till 1396 seconds into flight, the tracking stations at SHAR, Port Blair, Brunei and back will be acquiring the real-time performance data of the flight. But thereafter, there is no visibility period of around 1600 seconds or 27 minutes. The fourth stage burns twice. First time for a duration of 30 seconds and second time for a duration of 472 seconds. The first burn takes place in no visibility zone. Second burn is tracked by a shipborne terminal placed in Pacific Ocean. About 200 seconds after the completion of second burn of PS4, the injection conditions for the separation of Aditya L1 are expected to be achieved. An altitude of 648.7 kilometers
T minus 7 minutes
and a
half.
relative velocity of 8.9 kilometers per second, which translates into an orbit of 235 by 19,500 kilometers. The injection event of Aditya L1 will be confirmed by tracking station at Kourou. From the initial placement in low Earth orbit, Aditya L1 will undergo a series of Earthbound orbit raising, and eventually it will exit Earth's sphere of influence to reach Lagrange's point L1 in a journey spanning over 4 months. There it will be placed in a halo orbit around L1. This is how India's first observatory class space-based solar mission will take shape.
Vehicle is in internal battery power.
अब हम उड़ान से 6 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। ALS जारी है। सभी जांच सुचारू रूप से जारी हैं। इस दौरान यहाँ उपस्थित आप देखिए, यहाँ
External power supplies are withdrawn.
व्यूअर्स गैलरी पे, लॉन्च व्यू गैलरी पे उपस्थित जन आक्रोश, इनका रोमांच देखते ही बनता है। इतनी
Flight coefficient loading
मौसम
initiated.
यहाँ लगभग 37 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर है, वायु गति 0.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड। इन सब के बावजूद यहाँ
Flight loading
उपस्थित हुए
completed.
हैं इस रोमांच को देखने के लिए। एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर और मौसम विभाग की अनुमति भी प्राप्त की जा चुकी है। विभिन्न ऊंचाई पर वायु गति माप ली गई है और इसे ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर लोड कर दिया गया है।
The Satish Dhawan Space Center has its own meteorology department which keeps away.
All sequences armed.
तो हमारे साथ बने रहिए। अब 40 सेकंड पर
minus 40 seconds,
प्रमोशन किया
PS2
जाएगा।
VSPP open.
minus 35 seconds,
पर
minus 40 seconds,
प्रमोशन किया
PS2
जाएगा।
VSPP open.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
P1 tracking. P3 tracking.
Plus 10
Magnificent liftoff of PSLV-C57 with Aditya L1 on board.
Plus 15 seconds.
PSLV-C57 का सफल उत्थापन और इसके साथ
20 seconds.
प्रथम भारतीय सौर अंतरिक्ष यान निकल चुका है सूर्य के
Plus
तेज से
25
विज्ञान को प्रकाश करने।
Airlift strap on ignited.
इसके साथ ही
Plus
एक और
30
कदम
seconds.
है अंतर्ग्रहीय सफर में भारत की उपस्थिति सिद्ध करने का। आप देख रहे हैं PSLV-C57 प्रथम चरण पूरी तरह सामान्य।
The rocket flying forth, following nominal trajectory and developing nominal thrust. The bright fumes against a clear midday sky. Rocket launch is more than just a sight to behold. The roaring sound and the vibrations that we can feel here. Adding to this, the thrill are just amazing. Groundlit and airlit strap-ons operating together with the first stage S139.
Groundlit strap on separated.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
P1 tracking. P3 tracking.
Plus 10
Magnificent liftoff of PSLV-C57 with Aditya L1 on board.
Plus 15 seconds.
PSLV-C57 का सफल उत्थापन और इसके साथ
20 seconds.
प्रथम भारतीय सौर अंतरिक्ष यान निकल चुका है सूर्य के
Plus
तेज से
25
विज्ञान को प्रकाश करने। इसके साथ ही एक और कदम है अंतर्ग्रहीय सफर में भारत की उपस्थिति सिद्ध करने का। आप देख रहे हैं PSLV-C57। प्रथम चरण पूरी तरह सामान्य।
The rocket flying forth, following nominal trajectory and developing nominal thrust. The bright fumes against a clear midday sky. A rocket launch is more than just a sight to behold. The roaring sound and the vibrations that we can feel here, adding to this, the thrill, are just amazing. Ground-lit and air-lit strap-ons operating together with the first stage, S139.
Ground-lit strap-on separated.
जैसा कि निर्धारित है, ग्राउंड लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को सेपरेट कर दिया गया है और प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन सामान्य है। इस घटनाक्रम में अगला एयर लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
एयर लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन सेपरेटेड।
यहाँ इसकी भी पुष्टि हो गई है। स्ट्रैप-ऑन को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है।
We are 100 seconds past the launch time. The ground-lit and air-lit strap-ons have been separated. S139 motor still thrusting.
S139 110 सेकंड के प्रज्वलन काल के पश्चात उसे भी पृथक कर दिया गया है।
+2 minutes।
द्वितीय चरण जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है और वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है।
Launch vehicle is at an altitude of 73 kilometers. First stage has been separated, second stage has begun its operation, and the closed loop guidance has been initiated. According to the announcement by Range Operations Director, PS2 is developing nominal thrust.
PS2 41 टन के तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है। इसमें विकास इंजन द्वारा 800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न होता है और इसका प्रज्वलन काल लगभग 150 सेकंड का होगा।
SHAR and Port Blair tracking stations presently acquiring signals. Flight path closely matching the prediction.
+3 minutes।
वर्तमान में यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है।
सेकंड स्टेज परफॉर्मेंस नॉर्मल।
यान की ऊंचाई 106 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 3 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।
This is a test of your attention. You have 5 seconds to choose one of these cards and
The velocity addition in PS2 regime is going to be from 2 kilometers per second to 4.9 kilometers per second.
Payload fairing separated.
The payload fairing covering the Aditya L1 spacecraft has been separated. The current altitude of the launch vehicle is 118 kilometers. Relative velocity exceeding 3.8 kilometers per second.
यान अब घने वातावरण से बाहर जा चुका है, इसलिए ऊष्मा कवच की जरूरत नहीं रह जाती है और इस कारण इसे यान से पृथक कर दिया जाता है।
Second stage performance normal.
द्वितीय चरण वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता हुआ और यान पूरी तरह सामान्य प्रदर्शन करता हुआ अपने अनुमानित पथ की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
Second stage separated, third stage ignited.
द्वितीय चरण को भी सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है उसके प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त होने पर और तृतीय चरण जो कि ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसे का प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
We are close to 5 minutes past the launch time. Presently, the third stage of PSLV is operational, developing nominal thrust.
+5 minutes।
तृतीय चरण में 7.6 टन के ठोस नोदक का प्रयोग होता है और इसका प्रज्वलन काल 117.7 सेकंड का होगा। इस दौरान यह 240 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करेगा। वर्तमान में यान की ऊंचाई 134 किलोमीटर
performance
तथा
normal.
सापेक्ष गति 5.96 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड। जैसा कि हम जानते हैं PSLV सबसे विश्वसनीय रॉकेट रहा है इसरो का, वैसा ही प्रदर्शन करता हुआ एक और मिशन PSLV-C57 का।
For the present mission, after PS3 completes
Plus
its
6
burn
minutes.
duration, a coast phase of 200 seconds will follow, in which the rocket will continue to be steered while there is no development of thrust.
जी हाँ, अभी कुछ ही क्षणों में
Third
PS3
stage
का
action completed.
प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त हो चुका है और कोस्टिंग फेज इसके बाद जारी रहेगा।
Vehicle in combined hosting for approximately 200 seconds.
Unique to this mission, the
Vehicle
PS4
performance normal.
will start twice at pre-designated times
Plus
and
7
duration.
minutes.
The multiple start capability of PS4 will be utilized very aptly to achieve the argument of perigee of 346.6 degrees, which is very crucial for this mission. The commencement and duration of PS4 burns enable achieving this orbital parameter. Argument of perigee is the angle that is made by the perigee point from the ascending node at equatorial plane. AOP exceeding 300 degrees is helpful in mission planning to achieve halo orbit around L1 with minimal propellant expenditure.
सभी वैज्ञानिक गहनता से अध्ययन करते हुए इन आंकड़ों का, जो कि ग्राउंड स्टेशन द्वारा प्रसारित
Plus
किए
8
जा रहे
minutes.
हैं। वर्तमान में PS3 PS4 कंबाइंड कोस्टिंग फेज जारी है। यान की ऊंचाई 170 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 7.32 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड है।
Vehicle performance normal.
Plus 9 minutes.
Speaking a few words about the Aditya L1, describing the sun, Indian Vedas have said, Yesha Bhagavan Manirakasha Mandalasya Chakravati Khechara Chakrasya Deepako Brahmanda Bhandasya Asayeva Charkarti Bharvati Jarhati Jagat. This mighty jewel, the